Three, two, one. We are live.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
And we are back. Look at us. Look at this motley crew. Gentlemen, happy Saturday morning. Yes, David, it's Saturday.
It is Saturday.
It is.
Yes. Yeah, it's Hollywood Saturday today.
This is Hollywood Saturday.
I have this print. It's Saturday.
Okay.
It says Saturday here.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, it's Hollywood Saturday. So happy Hollywood Saturday.
Happy Hollywood Saturday. So, and Riz and I send photos all week with the cigars I smoke and the scotch I drink. So, at some point, not next week because I'll be in Dubai and I'll be in meetings. But the following week, the next one we're all together in a fortnight for the Americans, I will be outside with a cigar and a scotch, and we're going to do the show like proper gentlemen. I mean, I'm not going to wear clothes, but I'm just going to have a cigar and a scotch. So just so we're clear. So yeah,
So the restraining order's been lifted, is it?
The restraining order has been lifted. Nobody is safe. So there you go. And I've seen me naked. It's not a pretty sight. It's a scary thing.
You're now allowed to sit naked on your balcony in Austin.
I'm allowed to sit naked. But and the other thing is on Cigar Noir, classic Cigar Noir. I saw. I don't know if it's in any of them yet, but I saw the Maltese Falcon the other day.
Yes, yeah. I'm very excited about this one because it actually. May I?
Yes, please.
Yeah. It's a bit too short to make anything of it.
Yep.
There's a gem in this one.
Is it?
Look at that. Here, we can do something even better here. Hold on a second. There you go. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. Very.
Well, I'm not.
Hasn't got it yet.
Okay.
I'm not going to be outdone. I'm not going to be outdone. Oh God.
I'm really very, very happy about that prop because it actually feels as if it is probably what they had in the movie. It feels exactly right, and I think it's the right size as well. They haven't reduced it or anything like that.
I went online after you bought it to take a look, and there's one that's 8 inches, and there's one that's 5, 8, and 11. And I want to say it was the 11-inch one for the movie because I watched it the other day after we talked about it.
You might be right.
Right. But it doesn't matter because nobody's.
It doesn't feel cheap. It feels like really the top quality plastic was used.
Made in China.
No Chinese child was spared. So
yeah.
So
no.
Okay, you've never met David's mascot. David has a mascot.
What does he say? What's he say? He says.
Cuban parrot.
What does he say? He said. Yeah, it's a macaw. It's a macaw. What? Yeah, you could eat that Maltese. What? You could eat it for breakfast.
Oh, isn't that cute? I feel like I'm in the 80s.
I know, right? If this was the 80s and we were on drugs, this would be awesome.
Very psychedelic. You'd have the psychedelic filter.
I know we'd have the screen going around.
I think some of us are on drugs.
Yes,
I know we're not going to even laugh at that one. There was a very knowing laugh involved in that.
Well, the thing is, you see that we're not going to be outdone by a plastic Maltese Falcon.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
But basically, it's just a puppet.
But for the record, that Maltese Falcon is directly due to Stephen's input, and so if you see it anywhere, it's a Stephen thing. Stephen Spain.
Thank you. There you go. Stephen Spain. Yes.
The macaw says he doesn't give a monkeys.
A chimpanzee minky.
Yeah. All right. So on a more thank you very much. On a more serious note, I'm because
I was being serious.
That's what scares us, David. And the gentleman in the white jackets from the home will be there shortly. Just stay there. So there was an article in The Economist this weekend and an article in the Financial Times this weekend and the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal because Trump made one of his brilliant statements. And Trump said He doesn't give a rat's ass about NATO, and he doesn't care if Russia rolls through the Ukraine and Poland and all of Europe. And you gentlemen are in Europe, so that's why I'm asking. Seems to be in an uproar. All the articles I'm reading are written by European correspondents, and they're all like, this guy is literally trying to start the next world war. So what do you guys hear or think or see on this?
This is what I'm going to do now.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, this is the only way I can deal with it. I'm gonna hide behind my blanket. It's the only way I can deal with it.
As an earlier politician, I have to say something here because we had in after and during the Second World War, we had the Marshall help. We have always been able to trust the Americans. The Americans has been our allies for as long, but of course, who's American made of? It's made of Europeans mainly, and of course we are not able to.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Now it is, yes, but in the older, But it was in the news here, and we've been afraid of this for a long time. At least in Norway, we've been speaking about this. It's been on TV, radio, all over. What if Trump is going to win over there, and what will happen with NATO? And when I was younger than I am today, now I'm an old fart, as you know. I was a friend with the General Secretary Stoltenberg, and at that time he was against NATO. So that's a fun fact. But he's saying now that this will be a catastrophe. It would be the end of an era between Europe and America. And we will maybe see America as a third. We just had the Norwegian intelligence police on they have updates. Who are our biggest enemies? Who are we? And it's Russia and China. For Norway
and the U.S. apparently,
but the third would be U.S.
Wow,
it's so scary.
Yeah.
Holy,
there's
I was
something to look
listening
forward
to listening to a U.S. senator last night on the radio, and he was saying, yeah, well, we've got a million Mexicans a day or a week or whatever coming over the border, and we need all the money for that. And that's basically what Trump meant. He didn't kind of really mean it. It's just one of his throwaway political statements. But it seems to be that the Republicans seem to be a little bit divided as well, because, do they want to have a world or Europe dominated by communist Russia? That's got nothing to do with NATO. That's got a whole new bag of poo, that one. So. That's a choice that Americans will have to make when they go to the polls in December of November.
I will tell you, I heard something interesting. I heard a guy yesterday speak. He's like just a talking head, and he said, "Wouldn't it be interesting at the Democratic convention if Biden stepped down and nominated Michelle Obama?"
Wow.
I was like, you know what? I'd vote for Michelle Obama. And now, Michelle, I love you, but I need you to become a lesbian and Jewish, because now we've ticked all the boxes, right? Yeah. We have a female president of color, and if you become a lesbian and a Jew, we can get it all out of the way with this election. I'm just saying. But I heard that, and I thought that was a very interesting thought. And I think people would vote for Michelle. I don't think Kamala Harris should be the vice president. I think we should get somebody else, but I think that would be a very interesting election, and I think she would beat Trump, hands down.
Stephen Oldfort is a good guy as well, I heard.
Who is?
Stephen Oldfort.
Stephen Hofer, yes, I would be. Yeah, I would be the wrong guy because I would just walk around with my hand on the button all the time, going, "Come on, China, come on, Russia, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go." I make Missile Boy look nice. Go ahead.
The politics almost to one side. Isn't Trump such an excellent discombobulator? He's really just a total natural. Whether you think of these as throwaway headlines, what he does manage to do, he creates a sense of unity in everyone else who's just shit scared of what's going to happen. And if you don't mind me saying so, I'll try and bring the Cigar Noir into this in one way or the other.
If you would, please.
Last week, I was researching camera angles by watching Citizen Kane again for the sort of nth time.
Right.
And I seem to recall in a Trump interview or in a biography somewhere, I read that the thing that most influences the way he thinks and behaves is the movie Citizen Kane. In more than one way, he is acting out essentially that life, and that life was all about power. Citizen Kane started off with very, very, very good intentions as to be a voice for the usurped people. Where politicians were corrupt, politicians were power hungry. He wanted to run a newspaper and be a voice. And then you see a gradual, I won't say a corruption of character, but a corruption of intent taking place as he becomes more and more powerful. Having said that, in Citizen Kane, Mr. Kane, I can't remember his first name. I never remember his first name. Hangs on to his most innocent thoughts, and that was the Rosebud moment. And I have, for some reason, I have a little bit of a soft spot for Trump. I have the feeling, from this perspective, I think he's probably
before or after the brain surgery.
Well, I think in some way he's probably a very well-intentioned person who's out there to, pardon my French, fuck everyone else up because he sees everyone else as corrupt power brokers. I mean, he may have become that himself to some extent, but I see that there is, I mean, below the surface of headlines, there's a character, and I'm trying to work out what kind of character would be better for this world, because even a character that divides eventually unites in one way or the other against him or for him. So I don't know what's really going on in the back of these things, but
yeah, I agree with you to an extent. To another extent, the problem is he's trying to be a dictator / autocrat, and that is not what you want. And what he did on January 6th, the ex-president of Brazil did that, and he's going to jail. In America, we're just like, we don't know. The Supreme Court's a bunch of pansies. They don't know. They say, oh, sure, he can be elected. So the problem is that he tried to overthrow the government. So I have no soft spot for him at all.
No.
What my point with my thing is with him is like, you literally broke the law. Like on many occasions, what you did in Georgia, what you said, find me votes, what you did, you paid off a hooker. Like any other president would have gone to jail by now, or at least been, thrown out. But for some reason, people are scared of him. Why? I don't know. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. So he's very much wants to be an autocrat. And if he wins in November, in my opinion, and I've said this, and I talked to someone in the military yesterday, and they said that they are preparing for a 1930, 1940s type war with Russia and North Korea and that whole area now. They are preparing because they think if Trump gets in, this is where this is heading. And I keep saying that, and I know other people keep saying it, but no one's listening. And when it's too late, it's going to be too late. But I don't think he has any master plan other than he wants to be the dictator, the king. He wants his legacy to look at me. And so I have no soft spot for him. I know people that know him, and they all think he's an idiot. Like there's nobody I know that knows him that has a brain cell that has anything really nice to say. And that's terrible.
But really, you don't have to be a psychologist or you only have to have some years on your back to see that he has some illnesses, some I'm not a psychologist, but he has disorders from A to Z, and he's dangerous. He's mighty dangerous. He's more dangerous than Hitler was. That's my. I would go that far.
The crazy thing is, I think at the moment, I was listening to a thing this morning about Trump. There are 60 court cases he's already had that he's already lost.
Right.
And still, he threatens people like if if you're not part of the MAGA that we're doing thing, Make America Great. Then if you're not part of that team, then that's it. You will be punished. When the revolution comes.
What he did say is people were giving money to Nikki Haley, which is trying to beat him as a Republican running. And they said, if you give money to Nikki Haley and not me, then when I become president, you're not part of my little world. And every time he speaks, I literally go back to Mein Kampf and I'm looking.
That's the way the is run. That's
I'm right. Mein Kampf. I mean, basically, you read the book.
It's interesting. It's interesting, because you have this sort of. Certainly here in Holland, when they see Biden, they find Biden at this point of time to be sad. We feel sad for Americans because he's a gentleman of age, and unfortunately, it's starting to show. I'm also a gentleman of age, and I'm sure when I keep falling over and do weird shit, that people
you do that now.
Say, hey,
we watch it live every day.
They'll just say, well, that's enough is enough. But
Trump's no different, by the way, David, if I may. Trump forgets names and the same thing. So they're both. Yeah. I know you could be whatever. I think
he forgets for different reasons. He just doesn't care.
Right, probably.
Well, and of course, the other issue that Biden has, of course, that he stutters and has always had a problem with the stutter. So he's always trying to
there you go.
Just to get the right word out, that comes across as being slightly slow on the uptake. But it's interesting because I think now I think Biden is now starting. The whole team is now just say, well, you can say whatever you like, actually, Mr. Trump, but we know and the country knows you're a loser. You lost the last election. And you remain a loser. And it looks like the campaign is moving more towards that. And that seems to really, from all the stuff I've been reading about Trump, that's really, they've found his Achilles heel. Because that's the one thing that he is. He did lose the election. And he does not like to be reminded of that.
Yeah.
And you watch the Democrat campaign, that'll all be going down that road, I'm sure. But, hey.
It'll be.
But David, on his upcoming rallies, he would just say, "Well, people say I've lost. It's not true. It's fake news.
And they
don't believe them."
Right. And they believe.
They believe him.
His followers believe that the election was stolen and it was rigged and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's not the issue. The issue is that the Biden team are trying to pursue a line of questioning towards him personally, not like you are a loser. Don't come on and say you are a winner. You're not. You're a loser. You're a loser. You're a loser. And that's eating away at him, because that's the thing that he just can't tolerate, because that's a fact.
Well,
but like I said to everybody, get your brown shirts now. I'm supposed to be on discount on Amazon, and
it'll be in the merch store shortly. With the two old farts logo.
Exactly. And if you really want to find out what happens in America, watch one of our AI films. The Ambers of Freedom. I've made 3 very happy films about the US.
Yep.
about what's happening in the US 2027. So
let me ask this question then. Let's change to something pleasant, I guess. So I'm assuming we all know Dubai. Yeah, well, it could be. So Dubai had made an announcement last week, other than I'm coming, because they make an announcement when I come because I'm very close with them.
Look up the humidors.
Yes, that's a humidor, right? They're setting up the cigars and the scotch. It's a whole thing. I'm very excited. And we'll talk about cigars in Dubai in a minute. But Dubai now wants to be the global capital for e-gaming, blockchain, Web3, Web4, and tokenization of assets. There was a couple articles. I think that's fascinating that they are ahead of pretty much the world other than Singapore in this. Any comments? Any thoughts? I'm just doing a
Or they-
commercial for
or-
Dubai. They're
or-
paying me.
or they just feel that if they have enough money to throw at it, that it'll be like Chelsea Football Club. They throw a lot of money at it and hope it's going to be successful. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
but they also in the NFT world, as I'm a little player there. They are so filthy rich that it's only playing money for them, because the individuals, if Norway were to do the same as they do in Dubai, we would had in Norway. There's not too many people, but in Norway they did it the other way. They cut the money all over Norway and for all people, but down there it's these few chosen ones who has all the oil money. So they have filthy much money. I don't hate money, and I'm not jealous at them, but they could. It's playing money. It's it's
To
nothing.
me, it sounds like a statement of intent, because when they make announcements such as that, there's always a team of advisors to the sheikh, who are going to ensure one way or another that they hit that, even if it feels later on. So it does sound like a statement of intent. It sounds like that's where they're going to put their money, as Morten was saying. That's what will happen, as opposed to a throwaway soundbite. So they've done it with real estate. They've done it as a financial center, as a financial hub. They've in fact pretty much replicated the UK Financial Services Authority with the DFSA. So if they're saying these things out loud, there is this culture. I think in Qatar they're a little bit conservative. They're a little bit understated, but certainly in Saudi and in the United Arab Emirates, if they make announcements, they tend to stick to them because there's a huge matter of pride, and obviously they've done their. I'm saying this as a compliment. Actually, I don't often compliment that part of the world, but they when they say things like that, they normally go through with them. So
Agreed.
I guess that's where their investment is headed, having established such a good financial center in the last 15, 16 years.
Well, part of it also they said is, and just like Saudi, right? They're saying that they want to have other investments other than petroleum because they realize, because they actually have IQ points, not like Exxon, Shell, Mobil, and our government. They actually realize at some point the dinosaurs are going to dry up.
That's right.
And when the dinosaurs dry up, if there's nothing to drill, you have no revenue. So hence why they're buying, if you will, football teams. Hence why
they're very
soccer.
intra-competitive within that GCC region. I remember being in Doha in 2003. I was organizing an Islamic financial services event in 2003 in Doha.
Right.
Was it 2000? No, it was 2004. And I remember the announcements being made. The hotel that we were doing this was at the Sheraton, which is a pyramid-shaped hotel in Doha, and that was the only hotel for miles. And now it's totally, it's taken over. Anyway, that hotel was brimming with U.S. generals in little alcoves doing deals. I remember it. I'd visually seen it.
Yeah.
My recall was that Qatar at that time had discovered natural gas reserves, which valued 100 times Saudi and Kuwait's oil reserves combined. So Saudi and the UAE are competitive with each other, but there's this big player, Qatar, with all these natural gas reserves. So of course they're going to diversify. Of course they're going to find other stuff, other pitches to play on by other rules.
Right.
And I think that also is a driving force. They may not talk about these things, but that's one of the major driving forces.
I don't think they talk about it to the extent that we're going to do, but I know they do talk about how they want it, like their, NBS from Saudi is 2030. And I know when I'm in Dubai and I speak to whether it's their sovereign wealth fund or somebody in the family, so to speak, they're all focusing on 2030 and beyond.
Yes.
They're like, we understand what's going to happen. We want to diversify. And the things they're diversifying in, whether it's esports or gaming or blockchain or tokenization or having an exchange that's like second to none, and expanding to the world and making it easy to do business. And expats, when I go there, I meet more expats than I meet people from UAE. Right? Everybody I bump into is an expat. And why are you there? Hardly any tax. What's this? Hardly this. Hardly.
Lifestyle,
and I'm just like, okay,
is different. Total
lifestyle,
lifestyle.
and no crime. There's no stress. Now, traffic, on the other hand, when I went there 20 years ago, I was telling someone the other day, it was kind of a joke. There's a building and a camel. That was it. Now you go there, it's like looking at like Manhattan. It's like there's buildings and there's traffic. And it's, that's part of your growth.
Traffic cameras and speed enforcement, everything is there.
Yes.
But Stephen, I'm not the one going down there in next fortnight, but the conditions for the workers who are in their own camps,
right,
are not that very good. Right.
I've seen the stuff. I've seen the reports on 60 Minutes. I think everybody else has read about that, but I don't know. I know that was for Qatar. I'm not sure about UAE.
Okay.
So between 20 years ago, so we're talking about 2000. So sorry, between 2000 and roughly 2006, 2007, the Burj Khalifa went up in 2006. That's my recollection. Right. I visited Dubai about 10 times throughout the year. I could see that building going up in stages.
Right.
The working conditions were exactly as everyone here thinks they were. Okay?
Yeah.
If I be diplomatic. Yeah. And I believe that things probably in the UAE have improved a lot because it was highlighted at that time. There have been political issues for Dubai in terms of the ruler, London is a second home for the ruler.
Right.
As you know, in terms of real estate, in terms of ownership, in terms of horse racing, however, in terms of very critical relationships with the royal family here. And that went a bit sideways over the issues over his daughter's kidnapping, if you remember, about 4 or 5. That relationship went very sour very quickly. So as a result, as much as I know, Dubai has really tried to rebrand and clean up and do it in a nice, and so the ruler's son, in fact, I saw him 2 weeks ago driving around London in his G-Wagon.
Okay.
Becoming the new face, as would be expected. And there's a bit of a cleanup act taking place. Okay. So, I'm referring back specifically to the conditions of workers that Morten was referring to. That kind of stuff is good. These developing nations like Qatar, where infrastructure is being developed in Saudi, you're going to have those issues whether you see them or not. You're going to have those issues. You cannot build economies and real estate that quickly without some burdensome.
It happened to everybody. The same in the US. The Irish thing.
The United Kingdom, 150 years ago, 160, the Industrial Revolution is mainly child labor.
Right.
Yeah. And Irish immigrant workers.
Irish immigrant workers. So these things do happen.
Well, first of all, they're Irish, so it's okay.
Dubliners.
So, no, I love the Irish.
No, but they need a renewment of their image, because we remember during the football. The World Cup, and I know this woman who is the leader in the Norwegian Football Association, and she was tough. I don't know if you saw it, but she took them straight ahead and told them, we are not going to participate again in this country if you're not doing something actual in order to fix women's rights, like in Europe and other places, and the labor situations and stuff like that. So they have to renew themselves. They have to, because the word, coming from advertising, a word will sit there until you really takes control of it,
Right, but
I can't wholeheartedly agree with that.
Right?
I can wholeheartedly agree with that, because do they really give a monkeys about women's football? No. And about
No.
Norwegian
But
women's
to his
football?
point,
No.
but to Morton's point, that's Qatar, or Qatar, as the Americans call it,
Qatar.
right? But the
Qatar.
UAE, they have tons of rights. Like when I'm there, I'm almost got hit twice by women drivers. No, I'm just kidding. The women drive their cars. It's so they've given it. I mean, they are very progressive. And I know that people would say, "Oh my God," but it's very interesting just to see when we go to the mall. That's with the big the tall building in the world has the mall that has golf carts that chauffeur you to your car because it's too far to walk. Thank you. But you'll see women dressed like, if you will, they would be in New York City, and I see women that are dressed and that are wearing the burqa, the whole outfit,
the whole range,
total range. And everybody's respectful, and it's like nobody cares. Everyone's friendly, everyone's nice, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for right now, it's a little utopia. And I'm hoping that it can stay that way. And if it would spread globally, the utopia part, that would be awesome. But there doesn't seem to be any violence from what I can tell. A little traffic. Nobody seems to have a heart attack over it. They're building a high-speed rail from Dubai that's going to go to Abu Dhabi and Riyadh. They were showing me that the last time we were there. And I'm like, they're more ahead of stuff than we are.
Come on.
Well, that's not strictly true, because, I mean, let's face it, this week, right?
Yes.
I've got just to bring a little bit of real news into this show. This week is Valentine has included Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's Valentine, like the whiskey.
Valentine's,
Yes.
not
Like
Valentine,
Scotch.
Valentine's, and of course there's a lot of lonely people.
Oh
a lot of lonely people this week. So the people who haven't been that lonely, here is a solution to that.
Chinese remote kissing device with silicone lips. Let users kiss through the internet. Okay, now I've seen everything.
Oh, that's great.
Here's the device.
Oh,
there you go.
Right. With the iPhone.
Yeah.
Remote kiss.
Yeah. There you go. Look, it has a bizarre pair of rubber lips. I just wonder exactly.
Why bizarre?
Well, I just wondered what this. I just wondered what this product
yourself.
I just wondered exactly what this bizarre rubber lips was supposed to represent.
A bizarre pair of rubber lips.
It's great, but
cutting edge. Embedded with cutting edge technology, promises to recreate the pressure, movement, and even body heat temperature of a lover's kiss. So I have a question now on this. Can I punch anyone into that, or does it just have to be my one lover? That's what I need to know. Because then you could you could kiss anybody. The remote kiss offers intimacy to people without contagious disease. Are you kidding me? That's the fun of kissing and having sex is contagious diseases. The
romance faded somewhat when I read that. But they have these sensitive rubber lips, which you can put up to your own lips. And it will give you all sorts of sensations. Like I said, I just wonder exactly what this product was meant for in the first place.
I wonder if they'll smoke my cigar for me.
Yeah, of course they will.
Can't have that. Can't have that.
By proxy. I can't be bothered right now, so stick a cigar in there.
It's like, I'm too busy. Can you smoke my cigar for me? That would be funny. That is awesome.
But remember, they are a pair of rubber lips.
Embedded with cutting edge technology.
Yeah.
But guys, what about, can they use the tongues? A good
I guess
tongue.
not. There's no tongue.
Well, that's coming on to next week's show, because I found another product. I found another product which has
You're staging your release of this technology.
Yeah, it's a generation 3.
And it is a product.
A multi-billion-dollar development, phase 1, phase 2, phase
3.
I may even introduce it to the Lost Dollar Business Club, because it's a remarkable piece of technology, and it's actually a sensor which you placed on your tongue, and it's designed for people who are paralyzed, can't use their other, and they'll be able to use their tongue to change TVs, move
tongue.
With the tongue.
With the tongue. But
you can change.
If Stephen Hawking used that remote lip technology.
Yeah, he might have done.
He might have, because he always had that thing near his mouth.
No,
but
in the context of his recent appearance in the news.
Is that the one where he goes to sex clubs?
That's right.
Okay, just checking. I got that.
No,
Because
no,
when I
mean,
would see him there, he did very well. So,
yeah.
But that's all. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's very interesting that as technology and AI and whatnot gets more evolved, we as humans take our technology, you know, like instead of curing cancer and making it that you can live to, I mean, they're trying to do that and make you live to 50 million and create no poverty and create better climate and all that other stuff. What do? We come out with a technology that helps
we
you
see it.
That helps to pass the time in the meanwhile.
Well, he
No,
died,
come on,
yes.
come on. In this product, there are placed to so much. You know, to innovate this as a generation up to generation 12 or 16, it can clean your glasses. It can wash your hair. It can rinse your ear. Everything. You know, with the same. It's just extending.
We're being all very cynical about it, but of course, I think you're talking. It's not for nothing. It's made in China, because they have and the Japanese as well have a big problem with with relationships and social intercourse among themselves, and this is a way then of bridging that. I think that would be the more positive Valentine week's way of looking at it. The cynics among us would say, well, what are you going to do with those rubber lips if your boyfriend coils you up? But there you go, or vice versa. But that's just
I
me.
have so many things I can think that you could do with those rubber lips if your girlfriend's not with you. But it looks like, unfortunately, it looks like the machine. You have to be like together. It's not like I can call somebody in another country.
No. It's quite clear that you can just.
Kiss.
Look, this. You
can kiss by yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever's
another.
Yeah, one thing leads to another. So
Well, it's just like that's why here girls can't eat Kentucky Fried Chicken because they get pregnant. It's finger looking good. So it's the same thing. So I'm sorry.
Is that how it happens?
That's how it happens. I read a book. I'm an old school guy.
I was told it was dirty lavatory seats, but
probably. I'm an old school guy. If I'm going to kiss a woman, I want to kiss a woman. I'm not using a machine. I'm not using
in the same room.
In the same room, the same everything. I'm not going to be kissing her.
But David, I'm going to support you, David, a bit because I've never been in these countries, but I have a friend who's been working down there, and he's telling me that they can't, in their environment where they are living, they can't have a cat, they can't have a pet, they can't have. So what they do, they have a rent-a-cat, rent-a dog. You're paying for 1 hour for and you can have your own cat every Tuesday.
You can rent a girlfriend for an hour too,
Yeah.
I know, but it's the same principle. But
yeah,
in Japan,
and the nice thing is,
you have these cafes where you were like the pushy cafes where you can go and sit for an hour. You paid, you go and sit for an hour
with
or
a cat.
two, or with a cat,
with a dog,
play with
a cat, a dog, and what's that other thing? That animal, that big animal you sent me that one day, the rabby booby thingamajigger that you said was awesome.
Yeah, the caribou. What's it?
The caribou,
or whatever it is.
Something like that. They have these cafes where you just sit with animals because you're lonely. But by the time you're done paying all that, you could just rent a human for an hour. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but that involves a lot of social intercourse, and that's what people are struggling with.
You like
that? Or an alligator, in a leech.
Sorry,
Riz?
No, you like that word a lot.
No,
social intercourse.
We have a show.
I meant social. No.
Yeah, we have a show on the channel called Social Intercourse. Exactly.
Yeah, there it is again.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you should see the ad for that. You should see the ad we did for that show when it first came out. That's a whole. That's a whole ad.
Yeah,
Kids shouldn't watch that.
Slightly.
That went down like a lead balloon. That
Like
one,
a social intercourse.
Well, it did with the. We had there's three female hosts. So the joke of it was when we were doing the ad, I said we're gonna have a show called Sexual Intercourse. And I kept repeating it, and at the end, it's like, "Oh, it's social intercourse." And I was like, it's social intercourse or sexual intercourse with a hot Asian chick, and blah 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 blah." And they're like, "You can't say this, you can't say that." I was like, "Oh, what's it called? Social intercourse? Yeah, who's gonna watch that?"
Someone told you that you can't say something. That's
yeah.
You know what happens then? I'm gonna just blurt everything out because I could care less. So, but yeah, it was. So the show does well. So yeah, we do well in general. But this is fun, guys. So next week, I will be in almost the land of milk and honey. I will be in Dubai. So I don't know if I will be here next week for everybody, but I will be with you in thought and spirit.
Well,
So,
Scotch more like. Well, maybe
I'll be with you with Scotch and cigars.
Are you perhaps
if you leave your glasses there
on location?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Are you able to join from location?
It depends what's going on when we record, when you guys are doing this, when we record. If I'm able to, I will jump on at least to say hello. But if I am in a meeting, I unfortunately won't be able to say, excuse me. I have to say hello to the boys to come do this. But to David's point, if I'm out having scotch and cigars, I will definitely
that'd be wonderful.
At least say hello. Yeah. So I will try to jump on, at least say hello. And I'll be wearing clothes. I'll be in suits. So I'll have clothes on. So it'll be a whole different experience.
Linen white Havana suit with you?
Unfortunately, no. I'm wearing my wife likes to call it, my investment banking suits.
Your American in Dubai is the blue
striped.
Oh no. I have a bespoken guy here in Austin, and he makes me Italian suits.
Kirby Allison.
No, not Kirby. But he makes me these Italian-looking suits that are to die for. And the last time I was there, I got so many compliments on the suits that he made me. I went and got more, and then I went to another meet conference, and I got compliments. People come over just to talk about the suits, which led to us talk about business.
Additional reason for you to make it onto the
show,
onto the YouTube channel, so that we can record it and put it up on Instagram and share it around with all the Dubai cigar smokers.
There you go. I'm talking about that before we go. We'll talk about Dubai smoke. Yes.
Stephen, you have to have the logo, just a small logo of
I do have a little pin that I stick in the lapel of my on the sleeve. Yeah, I got to leave I've made by so
on the sleeve.
I do have the little pin in the little thing, the Illuminati pin, because it's like a secret handshake club.
Yeah,
we do that.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that. But the nice thing is that we will be going for scotch and cigars. Last time we went to the Ritz on the beach. They have a beautiful cigar lounge there. And so we did that, and now we're going to be at the Palace downtown. I hear
that's right next to the Burj Khalifa. Used to stay there quite a lot. It's got the Medina Souk Medina there as well.
Yep,
great place to smoke a cigar.
I'll need a list because I will be there, and if I can't for some reason get on the show, I will make sure that we get video smoking cigars, and I will get it out so David can play it.
Go to the cigar lounge at the DIFC.
Okay.
So, you know the gate, the financial center, the gate.
Yes.
So they have a cigar club there. I can't remember the name, but there's a cigar club. You can smoke indoors. They've got Wi-Fi. Hopefully, if you're there, you can connect.
Right. Oh, the guys I took last time they're kind of cigar smokers, and I said they wanted to try Cubans, so we got them Partagas D's, and they were like in love with them. And I, of course, get Partagas D's, and I get a slew of 50 other different cigars. And they're all just like, I don't like this one. I don't like, listen, just smoke a Partagas D. You'll be fine. But I got the Cohibas and this one. I came home with none, of course, because you're not allowed. Wink, wink. So there you go. There you go. So, yeah, I mean, and I will say that the pricing there is not outrageous. The scotch there is not outrageous.
Come to London for that. Come for the outrageous.
Oh, no. I know you told me it's 6 million pounds for a Cuban. Yeah. So
don't think about coming to Norway.
And even more for a cigar, but there you go. So next week, then it may well just be the three of us.
And your parrot.
if he makes it,
maybe
it's not a
maybe,
parrot, it's
sir.
a cow.
We'll keep if you don't make it, we'll keep the falcon, the Maltese falcon.
Please.
At the back. That's your representation.
There
That's
you
your
go. And
property.
what I will do for David is I will take video of things, and if David could get it on the show, he'll put it on the show. But anything cigar smoking related for both of you, I'll stick in our group so you guys can see. And like I said, I will try to come on and make sure that I at least say hello. Hopefully I won't be stuck in a meeting.
Don't forget to take a few 3 or 4 nice videos of you smoking whatever you're smoking. That would be cool, because then
whatever you are smoking.
I only smoke cigars. Calm down, Morton.
I just yeah. But next week maybe we have Roald playing the intro of this because he's been rehearsal the intro and with clarinet. So maybe if he's selling his house.
The nice thing is he's a world famous clarinet, and for him to do that would be an honor for the show. Sure, I mean that would be awesome. I mean, because if we had to pay for that, we'd have to sell one of David's children. So
Oh yeah, I'm quite happy to sell them. Don't worry about it.
Okay, never mind. We'll sell one of David's kids. Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. Everybody enjoy your Saturday morning. Don't forget to watch Classic Cigar Noir, and we'll also put the link so you can see it. The talkies. I feel like I'm back in the 30s now. The talkies on the YouTube channel, and you can see the music version on our channel. Guys, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and like and tell your friends. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Aloha.